this one Julian Assange has been talking about an October surprise that's that's going to be released. But he came out, and I think he was on one of those Fox shows, and he was talking about how he has a list of a list of cables from Hillary signed with C for confidential. But she said she didn't really know what that meant. She thought it was a alphabetical order or whatever. But he has a list of things she signed with C. What do we make of this stuff? Like, how come she can get away with stuff like that? I don't understand it.
Okay, you know why it really burns me up, Will, is because I'm an Air Force veteran, and this was some years ago that I was on active duty, and I still remember my freshly pressed BDU shiny boots. I showed up at work on time that morning, sat down, had a cup of coffee, and my boss said, "Don't forget you have the security briefing today. It's about an hour." And he looked me in the eye, and he said, "Don't be afraid." I said, "What?" So a bunch of people broke out laughing, and I looked around because I'm going by myself because I'm new.
Yeah.
And everybody's like laughing and sniggling over their coffee cups and at their computers. I'm like, "What? Why is everybody laughing?" He's like, "Just don't be afraid and come back here when you're done." And I was like, "Where else would I go?" So I leave. I go to the briefing. It's an hour-long, basically soliloquy at which the end I had to sign my name, put my Social Security number down, and the date, stating that I had read, heard, and understood the information and understood the penalties and consequences that were due to me for violating any of the parts of the laws and regulations that were outlined to me, and that it was punishable under the UCMJ, which is the United States Code of Military Justice, which means Leavenworth. Whenever you hear UCMJ, just think Leavenworth. So
Okay.
I left there shaking in my shiny boots. I went back to work. I was like, "But what if I accidentally?" And they're like, "You can't accidentally send email to people who aren't in the classification stream." I'm like, "But what if it's just like me and I'm typing and then my coffee spills?" And then they're like, "You can't accidentally do it. So just stop worrying about it. That's why we were laughing at you earlier. Now you're scared. Just get over it." I was afraid of going to jail. And there's a guy right now who took 6 pictures on a submarine who's going to jail for a year because he took those pictures in a submarine, the inside, all of it is classified.
Wow.
So she's getting away with literal murder, Benghazi, the stand-down order. We don't leave troops behind. This is America. You don't do that. And then, of course, this email stuff, she's endangered the lives of covert operatives around the world, and our intelligence secrets are now in the hands of our enemies, and it's all due to her. And so if she did this under the current law, forget what FBI Director Comey said, if she did this under current law, which we know she did, then she is ineligible to receive vetting and a new security clearance. So one that would be required for me to be on active duty, which is a simple secret, she cannot obtain.
Urban, revitalizing the spirit, family, restoring our community. Urban Family Talk.